Hello, this is ClayPita again, still with a wrecked voice, so yeah, you can enjoy my sexy voice a little longer. What are you wearing? Never mind. A little bit different today in that I am not showing you a single colored sculpture, but actually one of my colored ones. You may be familiar with this one. I think I already uploaded some pictures of this one, and this is actually a good opportunity to demonstrate a little how I make them poseable, or how I pose sculptures. In this case, actually, the cape can be taken off there, and then you have him without his cape. That, of course, can also be used to add on the wings. Here you see. Oops. It's, this good thing about the material, this material which stays soft, which is that you can, you can manipulate. Oops, you can manipulate the sculptures as much as you want. You can take off the cape, as I just did, and put on some wings. You can also, theoretically, you could also take off the mask and slap on another mask, if you want that, or yeah, you can of course also take off his arm and remove the sword, his Galaxia, and yeah, then you have just a sword, and you can, I don't know, give that to another sculptor if you want. Yeah, but that's how I basically pose them. And yes, as you can see, if I don't want the foot to be there, if I want it to be like this, or if he's actually flying, then it would of course be, oh god, would of course be better if his feet aren't like this, but they're actually like that. And yeah, there. Now he's flying like that. That's basically how it works. Of course, yeah, if you have sculptures like that which don't really have a bendable body, I mean, he doesn't have a neck or arms that are long enough to bend. I mean, the wings can bend if I want them to. I can make them face, or make them bend backwards, or make them bend like this, or it's probably not even visible really on the movie, but still. Another thing you can do is you just remove all of his body parts, and even the arms are a little attached, a little more firm. Yes, so that's basically how they are constructed. Just a lot of different little parts just connected to each other. And I can remove the top of the cape, put that on this thing that I prepared, and put him in there, and now he looks like in the anime when he folds his cape around himself. Yeah, Meta Knight, looking cool, standing next to his disassembled body parts. Ooh. I think he, not just in the anime, I think he also was like that in Revenge of Meta Knight, in the remake in Superstar Ultra. I don't know if he was like that in the original Superstar, but he definitely had this pose in Superstar Ultra. Speaking of which, at some point I was asked to do another, if I could make another sculpture of, if I could make a sculpture of another character from that game, and not just from that game, but since then he's appeared in other games as well, which is this one. Da 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 da. Yeah, Galacta Knight. the that's what happens when, hey, we need another design for a character. Oh, Meta Knight's got another design. What if we just color swap him and give him a lance and a shield and put feathery wings on him? He does look like a Meta Knight ripoff, but I still think he's just a really cool character, and he's not he's not as he's not as flexible as Meta Knight because he doesn't have a cape. So I don't know what that would look like. I mean, can take that. We can try. We can take that off and slime it on here and make him lose his. I think he actually loses his wings when he gets defeated by Meta Knight in Superstar Ultra, which was pretty brutal actually. First he disassembles and then he explodes into white light. But he made a comeback in Return to Dreamland, I think, and in spoiler alert, in Planet Robobot as well. Yeah, which is pretty cool. His wings won't. Oh God, he's falling apart. Never mind. He's pretty cool. His moves and attacks are similar to Meta Knight, but he also has some stuff that's pretty cool. For instance, the shitloads of swords, light swords he can summon and just rains down on the stage, or the massive beams, or I think in the newest game he can even, I don't know, rip a hole in the fabric of space and attack you with that. So yeah, which is pretty cool. I like Galacta Knight. He's cool. And another thing is, let me just get that here. Another thing you can do, of course, is the So basically, when I can take off the body of Meta Knight, body parts of Meta Knight like I did there, I can just put that on another sculpture. In this case, this one. Yeah, it's Meta Knight without the mask. It's not actually. I didn't actually make the mask removable, because that would be too much of a. It would be too much of a hassle, especially because his eyes are when the mask is on, like here. now he looks like in Canvas Curse. It's like he looked in Canvas Curse, just a ball. I never played that one actually, but I hear it's kind of. It is. I heard it's fun, but the gameplay. Oh God, Galacta Knight just died. Here it's fun, but the gameplay is not really my thing. You know, just drawing things like that. It's really not like the classic Kirby gameplay, and I don't know. It's not really for me, but the final boss is supposed to be really cool, and yeah, the music is also really nice. So I mean, it's a Kirby game. The music is always magnificent, especially in the Planet Robobot. I loved that game. That was seriously, if you haven't played it, you really should, because the story is amazing. Maybe one of the best stories among the Kirby games, in my opinion. But and the gameplay, yeah, of course, it's standard Kirby gameplay. You play a pink puffball, you walk around, you eat enemies and steal their abilities. But the story is pretty good, and the references to older games is really awesome, and the music, of course, is amazing. especially the final boss battle. But that's always great in Kirby games. Speaking of which, I also have another thing I wanted to show you, which I have been asked to do, and by coincidence I already had that sculpture, but I never showed it. Cue the music. Ooh. Ah, so awesome. It was really cool that they brought him back for Planet Robobot. It's like a hidden boss. If you play as Meta Knight and you come to the finale, then you don't actually fight the boss that Kirby fought before, but you fight him and then Sectonia and then Galacta Knight. And it was so cool the moment that thing turned up and he came out and like, oh my god, they brought him back! It's so amazing. Yeah, it's dark matter in his night form. Really cool. You can just leave. Which I remember. This sculpture is actually quite old, because all of these that I showed now are quite old, because the material I used to work with and the material that they are made of that's not produced anymore. So I don't. I really stopped working with that, and all the sculptures I've made so far with that material are just sitting here basically, and I'm not making any new things or keep working on the ones that I've already made, because I used to always, when I don't know, when they caught some dust or when they just didn't look good enough anymore because I improved in the meantime, I just destroyed them or broke them down to their material and then made them again. I don't do that anymore because the material is not being produced anymore. But yeah, I think this one's still good enough to show. And yeah, since somebody on DeviantArt, I think, at some point asked me anyway if I could make a dark matter knight sculpture, which sounds like dark matter knight, which is of course another character. Is it dark matter knight or is it shadow matter knight? I think it's dark matter knight, but no, this is dark matter, as in the antimatter, as in the space stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I made that long ago, before before Planet Robobot was actually released. Yeah, and I used references from Kirby's Dream Land 2, because there weren't any others at the time. I think they redesigned him a little for Planet Robobot, but this one's modeled after the design of Dreamland 2. I don't even. Yeah, but maybe the differences between the new one and the old one is just because the new one's actually a clone and not the real thing. But we don't know. And of course, I also have his second form. When you fought him in Dreamland 2, he also has. If you defeat him in that form, he also has a second form, which is like this. Just brilliant design, really. I couldn't have thought of that. A black sphere with an eye. That's amazing. No, I really love dark matter, and I wish they'd bring them back in the stories. But actually, I've read that the ones that the games that include dark matter, or that are about dark matter as an enemy, or a zero by extension, they were made by a different producer than the other Kirby games, and since he doesn't work for Hall Labs anymore, it's unlikely that they are ever going to bring them back. But I wish they would. And of course, there's a theory that dark matter is behind all the other evil characters as well. For example, behind Magalor's soul, because he has an eye and a mouth, and that kind of looks like dark matter and all that. It's really interesting, but of course, it's just a theory. Yeah, but so yeah, this is pretty much it, I suppose. I also would. I'm working with different material now, material that hardens, but of course I'd still like to make some more Kirby characters. Of course, if I get the opportunity, I would also. I still have some more Kirby villains and Kirby characters in general, of course, that I could show you. Maybe in another video, if this gets a lot of clicks. But some, of course, I couldn't make. I'd like to do Sectonia, of course, as well, because well, she was kind of cool. She was unexpected in the Kirby game, but still cool. But yeah, the problem is with her, and also with characters like I also really loved 02 from Kirby 64, Crystal Shards, but the problem with that is that they have floating appendages. Is that the word? I think so. But the problem is with that you can't make things float with clay, which is yeah, it's really gravity basically, and that's yeah, that's a big obstacle. I haven't found a way to work around gravity yet, but once I do, I might be able to sculpt Sectonia or 02, because 02 has these wings that basically just float around, and Sectonia has disconnected hands without any arms. And the same problem is, of course, with Magalore and the spider guy from Triple Deluxe. Taranza was his name, I think. Yeah, but that's still a problem. But yeah, as I said, you should really try Planet Robobot if you haven't, because it's a really awesome game. And also you play, the villain is basically Donald Trump, which is kind of funny. President Donald J. Haldeman. Oh, never mind. The video is about to end, so or the safe space is about to end, so I'm going to wrap this up now. And I don't have anything to say anyway. Bye.